Hello, hello. JJ DiGeronimo here. Thank you so much for spending this time with me at Together We Seek. As you know, we are both seeking in our own ways, whether you're just seeking locally or internationally. I like to bring to you some of my favorite practitioners. Many of them are my friends that I've worked with independently, one on one, and also have brought to other communities. So I'm really excited today to share with you Donna Bonds. Donna and I met, gosh, probably like 5 years ago when she was publishing her book, The Original Wisdom. And I've been watching her and participating with her online as she has taken her work to Costa Rica. So I'm really looking forward today to sharing some of the collective work she's doing to raise the frequency not only of individuals or women, but also the frequency of the planet. So, if I could be so kind to introduce and bring Donna Bonds to the conversation. Hello, Donna.
JJ, hello. It's such my honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I was so looking forward to this because we've connected years ago and I've been watching your work and we talk, frequently throughout the year, but I'm always keeping eye on the retreats you're hosting and the circles you're creating. And you're doing such amazing work with women that are already established, that have hit their stride, that are really would say that they've sort of made their mark on the world, but they still are looking for some sort of meaning or more purpose in their life. So I'm really excited to talk to you about the higher human integration.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, yes. And I was one of those women, and you were one of those women, right? We just woke up at the top of our game, and it looked like on the surface we had it all, but there was this deep void of something missing. And higher human integration was really, it's my healing modality. And it was born out of my own journey and my own experience, and very much falls in line with the information and the activities that are in my book, Original Wisdom: Harness the Power of the Authentic You. But higher human integration is the process of aligning and integrating your life with the power and the wisdom of your soul, of your higher self. And, like so many of us, we follow what we're taught. We follow society's rules and what we're told to do. And oftentimes that is out of sync and out of alignment with our real truth. And, I've gone through so many different iterations. I don't know how many ego deaths I've had to have, JJ, or how many more are in store for me. But it's this process of peeling away everything that isn't our true essence. And that really is what this healing modality guides individuals through, is that undoing.
Yeah, I can totally appreciate that. And I would say that if you would have told me this 10 years ago, I'm like, peel away. Like, what are you talking about? But I too have been on a very integrated journey to learn who I really am and the work I'm supposed to do while I'm here. And there were a lot of things that I've had to work through to allow myself to really get to the depths of my soul.
Yeah, I hear you. And, what's beautiful about higher human integration is the way that I approach this really is addressing all four levels of our consciousness. And I have designed experiential processes that bring you through an examination, a loving and gentle examination of what's going on in the mental realm, right? With our thoughts and our thinking and our belief systems, and really taking an honest look of what has been seated within me that is really no longer serving me. And how do these repetitive thought patterns sabotage my life emotionally, because we think certain things and those lead to feeling certain ways about things. So we then get into the emotional realm and the beautiful invitation to soften. I know a lot of women, we all wore our armor, right? We wore our armor and we carried a sword so we could get along with the guys and like make it in their world. But there is a tenderness, a gentleness, a level of compassion that when we begin to relate to ourselves with those softer qualities, then we discover they begin sort of coming off of us and making their way into our life in such a way that they're then reflected back to us.
Yes.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, that means so much to me because I always say that we as women, especially in a corporate setting, have to check our knowing at the door, and that we go into corporate America and our workplaces with 50% of our toolkit, yet we're expected to deliver at 120%. And so there's really no surprise why we're burned out because we're over generating on one side of our energy source.
Yeah, I love your awareness, and it's so true. And with this mass global transformation of awakening that is happening on the planet at this time, all of us women are really like awakening to this inherent authentic power. And that's really what I call it, authentic power, where we've been taught to derive our power from things outside of ourselves, from our status or from our paycheck or from whatever it is that we've attached ourselves to, that we put our value in or our esteem in, and we make that, what our boss says, more important than the truth that we know inside of ourselves. So when we can begin to retract ourselves gently again from those things and begin to ground ourselves more fully and wholly in our sovereignty and in our true knowing, this other kind of power, the power of love, begins to come up inside of us like a wellspring. And this is the real power that is going to support the evolution of the planet that is underway at this time. And it might sound, woo woo or touchy feely, but it's science and it's real and it's happening everywhere.
And it's not woo to my audience at this point. I have shifted significantly from my, this is how you get to the corporate office, this is how you get on a board. I feel like the last 2 years, I am what I do, and I've had to do the work that you're mentioning. And I think it's really important for women to know that this is normal, that most women hit some kind of point in their life where they're looking around saying, is this enough? Am I enough? How do I feel? Why do I feel disconnected? Why am I yearning for more? And so your higher human integration is so important because it is so many levels. And so when you talk about 4 areas, do you just want to quickly talk about what those are before we dive into sort of moments and connections?
Yeah, thank you so much. I started talking about two of them, right? So we have the mindset and the heart set. And the mindset really is examining our thinking and what are we thinking about and is our thinking supporting our life? The heart set is really getting into this place of compassion and softening around some of the things that we've really had rigidity around and towards, and opening our heart. Then we get into the behavioral realm, right? The physical movement of things. And this is really where we receive new skill sets. And we have very specific skill sets that are gold nuggets that get transmitted through this material. One of those is big acknowledgement. And big acknowledgement is simply recognizing in your mind that whenever you're engaging with another human being, that person is also a spiritual being making their way through this epic human journey, just like you. And so we go into that in an experiential way, at a deeper way that really brings this into one's conscious awareness in such a way that you can kind of begin playing with this. And, you know, just for your listeners right now, I just want to invite them, like, for the rest of the day today, every time you make eye contact with someone, what if you brought that notion right into your heart and right into your mind? I promise that there's some sort of magical transmission that happens when we do that, that there's an undercurrent that says, we're in this together. We're doing this the same, right? Like, we are the same. You have your history and your challenges and what's gone on in your life, and I have mine. And there is this mysterious thing that connects us. And then the fourth level is the soul level, the energetic level, the spiritual level. And as we begin to peel away the layers that are no longer serving us, what happens is a natural emanation of the inherent qualities within us begin to get shown. They begin to arise. And this is also where that authentic power then gets released. And a way to relate to it, JJ, is like, your crap is out of the way. Your shit is out of the way. And what's left is your truth. What's left is your essence. What's left is your magnificence. And this truth, this essence, this magnificence holds what I call your sacred soul signature. And your sacred soul signature is the dynamic code that exists in all of us, right? It's our entelechy. Like, the entelechy of an acorn is an oak tree, and the entelechy of a caterpillar is a butterfly. And you have one, and I have one, and we all have this dynamic code that is held in our sacred soul signature. But when our signature is covered up by all the debris and the misbeliefs and the misunderstandings and that lower heavy energy frequencies, the guilt and the shame and the grief and the pain, it's hard to allow our true essence to shine through.
I know this all too well, so I am with you. And I think it's really great to sort of talk about all these areas, almost like these four quadrants that work and are integrated to really how you show up in the world, and cleaning out each one of those so that you can be in the present moment. So you can make that eye contact. So you can be aware of the synchronicities that are happening throughout your life is really one of the best gifts you can give yourself.
Without question. Without question. I
Mhm.
mean, this changed my life in every way when I enrolled myself in a master's program in spiritual psychology with an emphasis in consciousness, health, and healing. I had no idea what I was in for. Truly, I had no idea. And that was very much a soul calling for me to sort of follow that nudge and that urge. And believe me, I had 101,000 objections and resistance and all of the reasons why it did not make sense for me to do that. And this wonderful woman, she said to me, Donna, why don't you just come for one weekend and see what happens? And those words single-handedly changed my entire life.
Love that, because I really see those people as guides, people who show up in your life that you may go left, but they just kind of nourish you a little bit to the right. And those right turns can be door openers for huge awakenings, as you're referencing. And we don't realize it at the time, but I really think that those are magical, angelic interjections.
Without question.
Hmm. Well, I am loving this. And I feel like if you're listening to this right now, there's something here that you need to hear. And for so many of us, we often don't think we have the time or the money, or maybe we haven't really given ourselves permission to lean into what is calling us. So, how do you work with women that know they need something more, but just aren't really at a place that they're willing to give themselves the space and permission to lean into it?
You know, no one can do this for you. You know that. I know that. No one can do it for us. And certainly, working with a coach, going to a personal growth, seminar or workshop, attending a spiritual women's retreat in the rainforest jungle of Costa Rica. These are all ways that we're getting out of our comfort zone. Let's be honest. We're getting out of our comfort zone. And you and I know no growth ever happened inside of our comfort zone. And, that's why I'm so grateful to that one woman who said, Donna, like, figure it out for a weekend. You can figure it out for a weekend. And I think, JJ, underneath all of it, right? People know if they feel drawn to something, even though they might have that logical, analytical, critical mind going down the checklist of all the reasons why not, there's still that inner yes that's like buried in there underneath all of this garbage. And, my guidance to people is get to that. Get to that. Don't have somebody try to convince you or force you or, coerce you into doing something that you really don't want to do. It's funny. I was just creating a video for my Costa Rica retreat, and one of the testimonials, one of the gals who was there, she tells the story about how when she first heard about my retreat, her immediate response was, oh no, I'm not doing that. Like, it was her first response. Nope, definitely not. Could never spend that money. Could never do that. But there she was, right? And she really worked with herself to step out of her comfort zone in a huge way. And, now she's in another program that's launching on Friday. So it's such a gift that we give to ourselves when we can be our own cheerleader, when we can be our own inner supporter.
I'm yesing all the way. And let me assure you that if you don't give yourself time, you will hit a brick wall one way or another. And especially if you're supposed to do this work, life will shake you like a tree until you're willing to release your barriers that are preventing you from leaning into the work you're really supposed to do while you're on this planet. And most of us know because we have this inner voice that kind of whispers to us at different times, or we know there's more to what we're supposed to be doing. We're just not sure how to get to it. So let's assume that somebody's come to one of your courses or come to your retreats, and they're really, they're on the journey of self-discovery. They're really getting to the point where they're having this higher human integration. What are some of the things that maybe happen in their relationships and their career?
Yeah, beautiful question. Well, connecting back to that idea of authentic power, there is a different level of sovereignty that women begin to experience. There's a different, I want to call it confidence, but I don't want to call it confidence because it is, but it's not. It's different than confidence. Sometimes I think with confidence, there's a little like fake it till you make it, like we're putting it on, we're trying it out. But there is a true, authentic inner esteem that begins to happen. There's a naturalness that comes forward with people's expression, like their authentic expression. There's a more there's an energy of being more relaxed, of being more honest, of being more truthful about who you are, where you're at, what your values are, what matter to you. And it's like you're no longer trying to be somebody you're not and trying to like please your husband or the boss's boss or like whatever it is. There's this deeper anchoring of truth. And gosh, I'm like, I give my husband such a deep bow because we're about to celebrate 18 years together. And I mean, I'm just not the same woman that he married, you know? I've been through so many different iterations. And I think the opportunities in relationships is just this deepening of honesty, this deepening of what's real, what's true.
I don't think I could say it any better. That is beautiful. And I think these breakthroughs are real if you really start to carve out the time to work from the inside out. And, you may be sitting there now if you're listening and saying, I don't understand these words, or I don't know what higher human integration means. But I assure you that if your soul is sort of leaning into listening, or you are like, I want to learn a little bit more. I don't understand it completely, but I know my soul is connecting with the souls of these women. I highly encourage you to look at the links below. Donna's starting a class on Friday for 7 weeks. She has only a few spots left in her retreat for Costa Rica. And I'm sure, Donna, you'll have other links below we can share so that if people are listening and feel like I need to learn more, there's a way for them to connect with you.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't say this for everyone, but JJ, for the women that are tuning into you and listening, I offer a complimentary coaching conversation. And you can go to my website at donnabond.com and sort of find your way to my calendar. And I sit heart to heart and soul to soul, and the energy that works through me is illuminating and activating. And so if you're looking for some illumination in your life and some activation in your life, come sit with me and let's come together and see what unfolds and what's possible.
Feel that it's such a deep level. I really do. And I love the work that you're doing. I feel like it's for a lot of people, they've had to go to many, many places prior to recent years to activate all the things that you're speaking of. And now, the where light workers, mystic, and healers are now, we're able to activate things at levels and at a speed that wasn't possible a decade ago. So if you're feeling the energy that I'm feeling, I hope you reach out to Donna. I hope you just reach out, say hello, connect with her on her social, check out her events. She has many different types of events for all different types of experiences. And I look forward to seeing you inside the community too. Together we seek that online, Donna. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, JJ. It's my honor to be here.
Oh, I loved it. This is so great. So for all of you, thank you for joining us once again. Share with us your practices, reach out to us, connect with us, and tell us where you are in your journey, because we are here to help each other, and we are ultimately here to raise the frequency of the planet. So with that work, we will see you again here next time. Thank you. Mm.